Welcome back to the island of Auskerry on the hottest and noisiest day of the year. For the last 25 years, my parents have hosted what would become known as the Auskerry Bagpiping Championships. The often wild weather here has meant many cancellations over the years, but today the sun is shining and the sea is beautifully calm.
So there's still quite a few of the original pipers that came then?
Yeah, should be. I mean, there's a lot of new ones, and there's sons, and if not grandsons, but Andy Cant and Ramy Peace would have been. I don't know if they were on the first one, but they've certainly been here at most of them.
None of this would have happened originally without a local musician and former fishmonger called Billy Jolly. One day in the mid-90s, he called my parents and asked if he and some others from the Orkney mainland could come and play music on Auskerry. Nearly 30 years on, a significant proportion of the award-winning Kirkwall City Pipe Band are back here to play again. Local vet Andy Cant and former post office manager Ramy Peace were two of the original participants in the Auskerry Championships. And today they're back again for what everyone hopes is not the final time.
Hello! How are you? The day's begun.
I'm wonderful. Hello. Hey, Hamish, what like?
Hey, how you doing?
Good, yeah. How you
Good
doing?
to see you.
Good, good.
Hello, hi Dana. How's it going?
How you doing?
What do you? Look at this.
This nearly annual event has been a major highlight of the summer here throughout my childhood. It's very special to be able to share this little-known Orkney tradition in part 1 of episode 4 of On to Other News.
Just to put a bit of structure to the day, the main thing I suppose is the first boat goes back about 4:30, we think. So we'll have to fit in everything before that. And you're not here to have fun, obviously. We're here to work hard and to find out who the next 2023 Auskerry World Piping Champion is. Which doesn't necessarily need to be a piper. It can be a singer, it can be a fiddler, it can be anybody else who impresses the judge well enough. And I take it that Simon is going to be the chairman of the judging panel as usual, and his decisions are final.
Oops.
And just before anybody sort of panics and thinks, "Oh no, I can't do that," it's not serious. It's fun. It's about taking part. It's about playing a drum solo if you don't play the pipes. It's about throwing stones in the water that makes a musical sound if you're so inclined.
How long do you reckon it's been since you've been coming here?
I'm afraid it's kind of lost in the mists of time and possibly the mists of alcohol and on some occasions the literal mist on the sea. I think when we've come out here, but it was probably more than 20 years ago. It was Billy Jolly. He bought back, I think it was his dad's boat called the Marbeth, and he was always keen to go wee trips in it. And it was a bonny Sunday in September, I remember, and we came out here, and never having been before, I think there was maybe 4 of us. There was Billy, plays the mouthie. There was me, I'd taken my fiddle and bagpipes. There's Mickey Austin that had probably mandolin and banjo, and somebody else, I can't honestly remember who, but anyway, we came out, we had a very, looked after very well by your mum and dad, and you would have been running about in your nappies probably at that point. And we had a tune, of course, and then for some reason we decided that we were going to have a competition. What we'll do is...
The competition element to the day has always been a central theme. Andy Cant even ingeniously printed official stickers with his own handmade logo for the 2003 event. Age 6 then, my complete lack of musical ability didn't hold me back. Thankfully today, I can hide behind the camera instead.
I think what we'll do is we'll start off, we'll have a piper, then a drummer, then a piper, then a drummer. Or how many acts do you think you'll have, Sinclair?
We'll have 3 probably.
Right, so we'll do... We made it that you had to play a pipe tune. Didn't need to be on the bagpipes, it could be on anything. So we all played a tune, and your dad was the judge, and I think Billy won it that very first year, because I don't know whether his playing was the best, but he owned the boat, which I think had something to do with it. So we had great fun, and the weather is so, I mean, you can't predict it, but we found another bonny Sunday the following year, again in September. And I think we maybe did that 3 years on the trot that started it off, and then we maybe had a run of bad years when we didn't get the weather, and so it became a bit more sporadic.
My involvement in the competition part of the day has varied over the years. A bit of guitar practice, flanked by my 2 older brothers, Rory and Owen, led to me duetting with drummer Gavin at the 2002 event. A special thanks to Mum for that very dubious outfit. That may or may not have contributed to me falling off the rails somewhat at the event a year later, seen here as a 6-year-old pretending to smoke a homemade cigarette made out of printer paper, sellotape and torn up dock leaves. Thankfully today, we have a range of brilliant local musicians to entertain us in various different ways.
Another drum.
As head judge, Dad has his work cut out keeping across all the competitors.
The last one was Bill, so it was just Bill that was playing. So I mean, there's a whole lot of folks sitting there. You're right.
Okay.
So first one was Bill.
So I can scrub. You want me to scrub Bill?
Take Bell off. Yes.
Yeah.
Cliffy's performance ramped up the pressure on the other musicians.
You can always play again.
Just go for a tune that came me way not that long ago. It's called A Time to Say Goodbye. Yeah, I'd like to.
Ramey Peace is another long-standing legend of these events. Here he is 20 years ago, shaking my dad's hand alongside local butcher and family friend Ewan Donaldson, while my brother Rory watched on.
That's it.
Just 2 years after these photos were taken, Ramey and Andy's former band 3Piece Suite released a song called Blue Skies O'er Auskerry. It's a poignant moment when Ramey plays it again today. Life on Auskerry is normally fairly quiet, but today it's a hive of activity. One of Rory's school friends, Craig Weaver, has brought his family out for the day, probably not expecting quite such a busy welcome from the shore. And then, later in the afternoon, 3 members of the local flying club, including Tommy Sinclair,
Here comes the plane.
gave us a flyby or two to add to a fantastic day.
When somebody was talking about what tunes do you know about seals, that the Selkie of Auskerry does vaguely fit on the pipes, so I'll try a version of that. Saying I was having a swim in the sea. I am a man upon the land, I am a Selkie in the sea. It got the imagination of others that wanted to come and what was this that was happening out there? And so it's gone on over the years, and so here we are today, and we've got half the pipe band out here, and we've got a couple of runs in the boats. The boats have become more powerful and more dependable now, but it still needs to be a reasonable day to get here. And my word, what a day we've got just now. We were just reflecting on the fact that we've had so many really nice days out here. Very special place, and a very special family that looks after us when we're here. So we have great fun.
Oh dear, that's sad.
Is Piddy Harry going now?
Right, I think next actually we'll have Teresa next.
The pictures of previous piping competitions on the island rarely feature my mum because she was the one normally capturing these amazing memories. But she's almost always performed something, and today will be no different with this version of a local classic.
With a slight nod to Jim McLeod, who wrote Kirkwall Bay. Slight alteration. Auskerry, oh PD Auskerry, making music on the pier. So we'll all shed a tear when you head away from here, 'cause we know that you'll have cleaned us out of beer. It was on a summer's day when we heard you on your way, tunes dancing across the blue. The lamb is on the stove and the drinks are in the chill, but mind you don't fall down in rolly poo. When you landed on this isle, we did party for a while. Then it's back to clipping sheep. But the echoes all around of the piper's poignant sound will determine which of you will take the crown.
Whoa!
Auskerry, oh PD Auskerry, making music on the pier. So we'll all shed a tear when you head away from here, 'cause we know that you'll have cleaned us out of beer. Thank you. Obviously, we win because of that, don't we?
Yeah, it has to be taken into account.
Thanks for watching this special edition of On to Other News. In part 2...
What will we do with the minke whale? What will we do with the minke whale? What will we do with the minke whale when we're out in the skerry?
The minke whale skeleton in the garden gets christened with a new song.
Stick it on the dike until it stops stinking early in the morning.
Then Orkney music legend Billy Jolly joins us virtually to sing the traditional song next to the whale washed up in the early 90s.
It took away the bulwarks, the stanchions and the rails, and left the whole concern by floating in the gales. For the wind is on the quarter, the engine's running free. There's not another whaler sailing from Dundee can beat the old Ballina boys. Need to try her on, for we'll challenge all Mullards and Smallford, Dundee to St. John.
And my parents share a special moment while the pipe band play their final tunes on the island. Thanks so much for watching. Please like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next episode.